right. It's over to the side, so it's going to be weird. He's Blake. I'm Ronnie. All the good names are taken. Podcast, October Blake. And we finally are here. The end of the Friday, strike that. End of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. We've watched them all. You've watched them all. And we're finishing up today with Wes Craven's New Nightmare. What'd you think?
You know, it's funny. When we started this, all I wanted to do was watch this movie. I wanted to get to this movie that I've heard so much about, how it erases all the sequels and it's meta. And, you know, this is kind of what led Wes Craven into Scream. And everybody, all the subs wanted me to watch 3, 4, and 5. And because those are the best sequels. And I hated those. Yeah. I was miserable. And then they were excited about me watching Freddy's Dead because it's the worst one and it's going to make Blake miserable. And I ended up really liking that one or having fun. And then I get to this. Hey.
He's saying hey.
I get to this one and right away, I know I've made a horrible mistake. It is really bad.
You think it's because it looks like it was shot for the Sci-Fi Network?
That's part of it. But I didn't realize how much I don't care about the characters from the original until I got to this one. How unimportant they are until I started trying to follow this. And I'm going to disagree with probably you and the majority of the internet. I hate the way Freddy looks in this. Like the old school line of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, why change the way he looks and what he wears?
Because he's not Freddy.
If it's going to be for the worse.
Because it's not Freddy. It's a dream demon.
You know, and my biggest flaw, it isn't the story, it isn't the characters, it isn't Freddy. It's the fact that this movie is like 2 hours long.
No joke.
That's the issue I have.
Should have been
2 hours of movie, 5 minutes of Freddy. Ugh.
Should have been an hour 10, just like Doll Man.
What was your thoughts? I mean, obviously you agree, right? Mister, get her out of here. You saw this at an earlier age.
Yeah, and I don't remember liking it. Yeah.
What was your thoughts at the early age? What was your thoughts during the rewatch this week?
I probably liked it better because I don't remember anything about the only other time I probably watched this, which is had to be 20 years ago. The concept is great, which is why I think that's the only way you can have a new Scream movie that would actually be interesting is if they did something like this. But I get it. You'd be copying another Wes Craven idea. But don't they do that every time they have a Scream movie? But I don't want to get on Scream. I do disagree with you on a few things. One, I thought that this might be not the makeup they had for Freddy that looked like the fakest of the makeup in all the movies. And I don't know if they did that on purpose or if it was just, I wouldn't think they would cheap out on how Freddy would look in this movie, but it looked like he was wearing a Spirit Halloween mask to me. But I will say this, his scene where he emerges in that hospital room is probably the coolest Freddy has looked in this entire series with the hat and the overcoat and all that.
The only shot of the movie that I remember being like, wow, that looks pretty good, was when Robert Englund came out on the TV show Closer to the Beginning.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shot of him, like a silhouette of him kind of from behind where he's looking at the crowd because the crowd's just eating him up. That was the only one that I really was like, hey, that's pretty cool. That's, because it's showing me like how big Freddy is mainstream.
Yeah, and I like the way that they sort of poke fun at that everybody in the crowd is not scared. They want to see Freddy because everybody loves Freddy. And I do like that they brought that up and tried to make this dream demon, which I think you asked me what I thought of the concept. The concept is really good, that dream demons do exist and why not take the form of a person that has haunted people's dreams in movies, especially when it comes to terrorizing this one family. What I didn't like about the movie is, they kill off her husband right away, and it's like she doesn't even care. There should have been more trauma, I thought, for Nancy and the kid. The kid, by the way, the most annoying thing in this movie, bar none, is this kid. You may disagree, but I could not stand him in this movie. I couldn't stand the idea that at one point, so here's my question to you. Was the plan for the Dream Demon to take over Dylan? Was that how was the Dream Demon going to get into the world? I never really grasped that concept. At certain points, it seemed like they were stealing from The Exorcist when the little boy wakes up and throws up everywhere, and none of the nurses seemed to think that was a problem. Like, I didn't really get where the premise was going, other than the fact that Heather Langenkamp was now experiencing in real life what she experienced in a fictional movie. That was probably my biggest thing, along with the Freddy face makeup and that. I thought this was some of the worst acting in the series.
Yeah.
I thought that anytime Wes Craven comes out, one of the top two actors in the movie, I think that's a huge red flag. I think the person that came out smelling like a rose in this movie is John Saxon, because I've never wanted more to watch any of his movies more than I did after I watched New Nightmare, because he comes across like the best guy ever in that movie.
As far as your first question, I couldn't follow any of it. I didn't know what his plan was. I mean, and I echo what you say about the little boy. Everybody seems to love this little boy. It's just whatever with me. I could care less. I mean, I know he's in a big part of horror or whatever. He was in Pet Sematary. He was in Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, he's in Pet Sematary for like 2 seconds. I
only know him from Full House. He's in like 100 episodes of Full House.
Well, you know him from Kindergarten Cop. He's got that great line.
Yeah.
But you're right. He does turn up as the little bad guy at the end of Chucky, so I can't say he was only in the movie a couple minutes. But, I mean, in this movie, I think he's totally wasted, because I don't think they knew what they wanted to do with the kid, other than having Heather Langenkamp have a kid that was being terrorized like she was by the Dream Demon. Here's another thing that they just left out there that I wish they would have had some closure to, and that's whoever is calling Heather Langenkamp harassing her.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be that limo driver.
It was about to be me.
This movie's got a lot of problems. I can see why people really like this movie.
Overrated. You know why people love this movie? Because 3, 4, and 5 are so bad. That's why they love this movie. Let's just be honest. The internet duped me, okay?
And it's like Wes Craven. Hey, look real quick on your phone and see what came out first, New Nightmare or In the Mouth of Madness. Because Wes Craven's pretty much playing Sutter Kane in this movie. He is writing everything that's happening, which means if he doesn't write it, that means it don't happen, right? But and in turn, he should be the biggest heel in this movie, because if he just refuses to write it down, then it's not going to come into reality. I know his thought process was to get rid of these certain things, you have to write the story so they'll be trapped in it. And that leaves one of two questions. He should have wrote that story faster, or he shouldn't have wrote it at all, because it seems like if he didn't write it at all, none of this bad stuff would have happened.
And the only reason he wants to write it is to try to stop the dreams, right?
Yeah.
I think that's mentioned at one point.
Yeah, like they have a whole concept that these things escape the stories and enter the real world. And by finishing the story and having a new story out there, they're trapped again, which didn't come into play at the end of it, because all that happened at the end of it was the usual, hey, we're in a dream. We're going to do something to get rid of the dream person. And here's another. Here, for the fourth review in a row, I'm going to ask you this question. How can there be somebody in charge of dreams, whether it be Freddy, whether it be this imposter or whatever, and they can actually get hurt in these dreams. If I was a dream person and I was setting the stage for all these victims, I would make sure there's nothing there that could hurt me, whether it be fire or anything. At one point, he's turning the steps into like thick mud or quicksand that she can't climb up to it while he's trying to get Dylan. But the 10 seconds later, she's hitting him in the back and they're throwing him in the fire. So it doesn't, that's the problem I have with these movies is there's no consistency. I mean, you got Wes Craven being Sutter Kane. You got John Saxon being the best guy ever in this movie. And the one thing they could have took advantage of that they didn't is they should have killed more characters. Robert Englund should have showed up dead. Wes Craven should have showed up dead. A bunch of them should have showed up. That's the golden opportunity they missed in this movie. I mean, I don't know why you have all these cast members that are having the same nightmares, and then all of a sudden Robert Englund just decides, hey, I'm going to go out overseas and take a vacation for a few weeks, and leaves that on his answering machine. I'll be gone for the foreseeable future. I hope nobody's calling that wants to come over and rob you, dude, because you let them know you're not at home. What an idiot.
Wes Craven not having the balls to ask Johnny Depp to come back was one of the bigger mistakes. I mean, I've read that Depp said, of course I would have came back, no issues at all. I think that was a huge missed opportunity. And for me, personally,
maybe you don't like him.
That could have turned the movie around.
What would Depp have been? Just another actor or
a victim?
Well,
if they killed Johnny Depp, the actor, they killed the biggest star that the franchise produced.
They didn't have the courage to do that to Wes Craven or Robert Englund, so they definitely wouldn't have done it to Johnny Depp. So
yeah, I know he probably just been standing there at the funeral or whatever. But like everybody else, by the way.
The husband bites it right away. We don't even give him a chance to get attached emotionally to him, other than to find out at the very beginning of it, he works on studio. Now, I will say this: the beginning of it is pretty cool. How they go from a movie to behind the scenes, and you get to see Wes Craven running the set and stuff like that. And then it turns out to be a dream. You find out that her husband's one of the people that works on the effects and all that stuff.
Effects. And they wanted her real husband to play this part, and he refused. So they got this guy. But that's real. She is married to the special effects guy that worked on the movie.
What's the point of the earthquakes? Explain that to me. Why were there so many earthquakes and it never came into play? I was thinking maybe an earthquake was going to let loose one of these dream demons. And that's how it got out. But no, that's never explained. It's just like it just shows up.
I think that's for us, so the character don't think they're going crazy, that maybe the earthquake.
Beautiful light. This beautiful lighting is happening right now. It's the magic hour. It's the witching hour.
I think the earthquakes are for us. And what I mean by that is, the character.
Whole lot of shaking going on.
The earthquake is what's causing my dreams in the beginning. But I know you read the same thing. This is like a week or two. I hadn't read anything. These earthquakes that they made up, it's like a week or two before those huge LA earthquakes.
Really? I didn't read up on anything in this movie. All my notes come from I broke this into 20-minute little segments when I had time. And I made the notes of the things I want to talk about. Like, she finds out her husband has bitten it, and then you go to the morgue to identify the body. People in the chat, does this really happen in big cities? Do you have to go identify and sign? And when you walk into the morgue, is everybody busy? They don't even stop doing the autopsy on this one guy. They're cutting the chest open. And then Kenny, the cameraman from Scream, or Warren from Something About Mary, whatever you know him from, takes him to the back, takes her to the back and goes, that's the reason we don't pull the sheet down further than that, because he's got a huge claw mark on his chest.
Yeah, you can't just walk into a morgue anymore, Ronnie. You have to sign in and all that stuff. I mean, thanks 9/11. I'm with you. I thought that was going to lead to something as far as something being released or something like that. But we never got that. And then next thing I know, I'm in some kind of weird Freddy Krueger temple. This big, almost Skeletor-like castle,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm watching at this point. I don't know what I'm watching, and I'm just miserable, and I'm ready for it to end. And then I'm like, okay, so this is the last one. This is going to be the most unique way they have ever killed him, right? It's going to be so cool. It's going to be epic. No, we're going to stab his tongue. We're going to throw him in a fire. That's it.
Yeah, and up until that point, it had been like a more menacing Freddy. And then when they cut his tongue, that was like they added some comedic stuff into it. And then, of course, for some reason, they let the Dream Demon say his favorite word, which they should have never let happen. This thing that was parodying Freddy should have been like a complete 180 from like the guy in the movies.
Yeah,
it should have been like, yeah, what? I don't know about all that, but it should have been like
gay and black.
No humor necessary. It should have been LeVar Burton. The most unrealistic thing in this movie is not that Robert Englund's a painter, but it's that you can get at the top of a piece of playground equipment and jump off, and a woman can do a 50-yard dash and catch that kid. That kid would have been gone right there. And that might have been the better play, Blake, is to let her entire family go down at the hands of the Dream Demon, and she's left by herself. Because they did a weird thing. They bring up, that she has a history of mental illness in her family. I wonder if that's like real or something they made up for New Nightmare. Did you read up on that, or do you know?
I don't know.
I'm losing my witching hour lighting. It's going behind the trees. Ain't that right now?
It is a good look, though. It is a good look. It's a pretty October day over there. Where are you at, Mississippi?
Yeah, I'm in Mississippi. It feels great.
Beautiful October day over there.
All these people playing themselves. All right. You got Wes Craven. You got Robert Englund as himself. Most likable Robert Englund's ever been in a movie, by the way. He seemed cool. And I'm going to say that. He seemed like, hey, we're going to get together again. Why did Lynn Shay, you know her from Munson, why did she have to play an actress in this movie? Why couldn't she just play the wife of the guy that Heather Langenkamp goes to talk to, Bob Shay or whatever his name is, that's on the phone and like, oh, we can match any offer, Heather. She's got no other offers. She's never been in anything else. 8's enough or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I love, like them making her out to be this huge star in this movie. And, it's been 10 years and, you were in part 3, but everybody wants you to come back for the 10-year reunion. Like, no, I don't think anybody has said that ever.
I'm good, Ted. I'm good.
Goodbye, Ted.
Troy Barnes' grandma was in this movie as the doctor when they finally send after they finally send Dylan to like some psychiatric place. If you've never seen the television show Community, Troy brings his grandma for, family day. And the first thing she tells Britta is, cut me a switch.
She's respecting her elders.
See, Troy, did you think I was a hypocrite? That I wouldn't really... Okay, how that really... Ooh!
So that's all I could think every time they would show her is she's about to tell Heather Langenkamp, go cut me a switch. I'm looking at my notes right now. Like I said, I think besides the first movie, Freddy Krueger appearing in that hospital room, I'm repeating myself, is the coolest he looked. If you do not look at the facial makeup, what else? Robert Englund's a painter. I put that on here. The cameos are great. Earthquakes. The biggest question I came out of with this movie is what I've already asked you, Blake. Is Wes Craven the real heel? Is he the real villain in this movie? Because it seems like he Sutter Caned everything in this movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, you said it earlier. If he would just stop writing, then the madness would stop. So I think you gotta say he's the heel.
Yeah, the movie looked like it was shot on video. It looked like the guy that shot Monster shot this. 5.7, Blake, for New Nightmare.
I don't know if this is better than Dream Warriors.
I don't think it is. I think it's on par. I think the concept, I think when people watch this movie, the thing that we have to realize, because a lot of people think we're being negative on every movie we watch this month. I had somebody commented, it might have been my Chunky Jordy, commented in the comments, goes, it's refreshing to see you guys say how much you love a movie when we reviewed The Burning. But, we're huge Jason guys. So we'll defend that to the end. And I understand that there are Freddy people out there, just like there's Jason people that will defend all this stuff to the end. It's not that I have a problem with any of these movies. It's just that I don't enjoy them because there's too many questions. I can find something good in all these movies. And I think there's a difference between saying, you know what? coming back for part 7, this is part 7, right?
Yes.
Coming back for a part 7 and having it set in the real world, that's a heck of an idea, because it was. There's a big difference in a heck of an idea and pulling off a movie that was actually good. And I think they had the opportunity in here a few times, but they should have killed everybody. It should have just been her alive at the end of it. John Saxon, do you know how likable John Saxon was in this movie? If he would have turned up dead from the Dream Demon in this movie, if after we get the scene where Wes Craven comes out and tells, this is, this is all my fault because I've been having these dreams, or Robert Englund, showing that he's a coward and he's trying to get away and he's over in England or whatever, and it still gets him over there because everybody's having these dreams, but it only seems to be negatively affecting Heather Langenkamp and her son. So that's another thing that I just didn't grasp. 5.7, Blake.
I feel somewhat vindicated because I read that Wes Craven went and watched all the sequels because he intended to make a final sequel, right?
Yeah.
And he said after watching 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, he just said, none of this makes sense. We're going to have to start over. So I kind of feel vindicated about how I felt about the last few movies. But I'm just going to give this a 4.8. And I think that, if I remember my rankings right, I think that's above 3, 4, and 5. May not be above 6. It is. But
I mean, how did we end up? Is it because they set the bar so low for Freddy's Dead? Yeah. Is that how we ended up liking it so much? Because we went in expecting just the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm with you. I like part 3. I just had a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. I didn't like part 4. I didn't like part 5. Going back, this franchise has done a great job of making nobody safe. Anybody can go at any time, which I think would be amazing if they would have took out Heather at the beginning of the movie. And now you're just following her son and her husband, and the son is the star of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That would have actually been something there, but instead we get Heather Langenkamp again. I'm not sure how good of an actress she is. She was 30 when this movie came out. She looks 40. She looks 60 now. She's doing the circuit. Wes Craven was the second best actor in this movie behind John Saxon. John Saxon's great. He should have an Oscar. He should be on the Walk of Fame. I'm going to go find 5 movies. We're going to have John Saxon September next year, Blake. Get ready.
I was about to say, now it makes sense, the movie that Dave McRae made, Dylan's New Nightmare. I've always wondered what that was about. And, the little boy in this one's Dylan. Did they get him to come back for that movie?
Yes, the real guy.
Wow.
He sucks in that, too. I mean, I can't say enough how much, if Dave McRae wasn't Freddy in that movie, I know you're going to say, we get it, you like Dave McRae. If Dave McRae wasn't Freddy in that movie's a pile of crap. And I'm not, making fun of, I'm not trashing anybody that worked on that movie. Good for you. Good for you. I've got a script out there, Frankenturd. It's still in pre-production. Vincente DeSanti is working with me right now. We're going to try to get these rubes to fund it. But, I know how hard it is to write a screenplay. And like I said, Dave McRae saved that movie. The guy that played Boys Have a – well, he could never say that in 2025. He would get run up Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Because boys have everything now. But anyway, that movie sucked. He sucks. And this whole franchise is terrible.
Yeah. Like I think I said it on the first review, the most successful overrated franchise of all time.
Yeah, I mean, this thing got more popular than Friday the 13th. This thing was like the MTV horror franchise, dude. It's got way better music than Friday the 13th, current music, except for part 6. But I mean, that's one thing I do like about Nightmare on Elm Street is it just dove head first into, all our movies are going to have up-to-date rock songs. It's going to be what the kids want to see. But the freaking stories, man, I mean, give me a break. Give me a break.
Your favorite kill
in this movie?
Yeah.
It would have to be when the glove is playing with Heather's husband's privates before it gets him.
Yeah, I mean, so I'd say
they redid part 1 and had that one chick get it up on the roof. And
Mhm.
the orderlies are watching this at this point. How could these orderlies think this is schizophrenia when you just saw this happen? At this point, you're like, something's happening. These people are telling the truth. Let's help them. But no, they're. What did he say in Dust to Dawn? I don't care how crazy somebody. Psychos' heads don't explode when sunlight hits them. I don't care how crazy they are. So I mean,
What a line by Clooney. You think about like career trajectory. He could have been such a huge action star after that, you know?
yeah.
He could have. I mean, it
Well, I
makes you
think,
wonder.
Well, I can tell you what it was. It was Batman. He was snake bit after Batman. He listened to all that worst Batman ever talk. When it wasn't him, it's the movie. I mean, he could have been a great action star.
He could have been so good. Yeah, that was my favorite kill as well. And seeing that, I started getting all these like emotions of nostalgia. I was like, holy crap, I have seen this movie before because I remember that glove coming out of the seat and getting the testes, you know?
Like the overcoat and the hat, that was the best part of the movie for me. Hit us in the comments. What'd you think? How wrong are we? We tried to make Blake a fan of the series, and guess what? Who would have thought that Freddy's Dead is the closest thing we got to him being he loves one, he loves part one, and he loves Freddy's Dead. So 2 out of 7 ain't bad.
It's really not. 2 really good movies.
All right, Blake. We're almost done with this month, I think. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, let me hit that piano. Da-da, da-da.
You ready?